Welcome to AI-deas. This is part of the Good Business podcast, brought to you by the PHINMA-DLSU Center for Business and Society.
Our mission here is always exploring business as a force for good.
And this deep dive, generated using Notebook-LM, looks into something pretty topical. Why private companies get involved in public-private partnerships, or PPPs.
Exactly. We're digging beyond the usual assumption, that it's just about profit. We're using the recent NAIA rehabilitation project as our main example here.
Right, and our key source for this is an article from the Good Business column over at Rappler.
It's titled Beyond Profit, Unpacking Private Sector Motivations in PPP.
And, well, many listeners will know the background. The $3 billion concession for NAIA rehab awarded to the San Miguel Corporation-led group, NNIC.
Yeah, it hasn't been without controversy. There are actually Supreme Court petitions questioning it, looking at constitutionality and if it follows the PPP law.
Important legal stuff, absolutely. But our focus today is slightly different. We're asking, assuming profit is a driver, what else makes these huge projects attractive to the private sector?
What are those other, perhaps less obvious motivations?
Okay, so let's unpack that. The article kicks off with altruism, the idea of genuinely wanting to contribute, maybe without expecting a direct payback.
Yeah, it sounds a bit surprising maybe, but think about NAIA. Fixing up a major international gateway, that's a direct contribution to public welfare, isn't it?
Boosting the economy, tourism, just making travel less stressful for Filipinos and visitors.
Exactly. There's a real societal benefit there. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet.
Okay, point taken. But the article also talks about strategic positioning, getting an edge.
Right. This is where it gets interesting strategically. For a company like San Miguel, already involved in infrastructure, managing NAIA gives them, let's say, unique access and influence.
How so? Like strengthening their overall infrastructure footprint.
Precisely. It allows them to, potentially synergize with their other holdings, build a stronger position in that whole sector. It's a strategic play.
Got it. So it fits into a bigger picture for them. Then there's capability and capacity building. What's that about?
Well, tackling a project this massive, like NAIA, forces a company to up its game. You need serious investment in skills, training, better processes.
So it makes them stronger internally.
Absolutely. Think about the tech needed for a modern airport. Advanced logistics, maybe AI for managing passenger flow. Implementing that stuff builds real valuable internal expertise.
Expertise they can then use elsewhere, I suppose. Makes them more competitive long term.
Exactly. Which kind of ties into the next point, corporate social responsibility, or CSR.
The doing good aspect again, but maybe more formalized.
Sort of. It's about demonstrating a commitment to societal well-being. Pulling off the NAIA rehab successfully, that sends a powerful message.
That they're invested in public infrastructure, quality of life, good for the corporate image.
Definitely enhances the reputation. Shows they're a responsible player.
Okay. What about efficiency and innovation? Is that a big driver?
Huge. Private companies often bring specific operational know-how. They might have leaner processes or access to cutting-edge tech.
So they can potentially run things more smoothly, maybe introduce new systems.
That's the idea. Modernizing NAIA, making it more efficient, improving the passenger experience, that's often where private sector innovation shines.
Makes sense. The article also mentioned legitimacy and reputation. We touched on reputation with CSR, but what's the legitimacy angle?
It's about credibility, really. Partnering with the government on such a high-profile national project like NAIA, it bolsters the company's standing.
Builds trust, perhaps, shows they can handle major public works.
Exactly. It aligns the San Miguel brand, in this case, with a crucial national goal. That adds a lot of legitimacy.
Okay. And then sustainability and stability.
Yeah, this is about the long game. Investing in essential, sustainable infrastructure isn't just good for the public. It potentially provides stable, long-term value for the company, too. Financial security through, nation building in a way.
A long-term investment perspective. And finally, value creation, but not just economic value.
Precisely. The goal, ideally, in a good PPP, is to create both economic returns for the investors and tangible social value for the public.
Like addressing the clear public need for a better airport while ensuring the project is financially viable. A balance.
Finding that sweet spot. And look, the NAIA situation with the legal challenges, it also highlights how crucial transparency and accountability are in these deals. That's woven into the whole discussion.
True. So pulling it all together from that Rappler Good Business piece, beyond profit unpacking private sector motivations in PPP.
It's clear it's not just one thing. It's this complex mix, isn't it? Altruism, strategy, building skills, CSR, innovation, reputation, stability.
All playing a role. The NAIA project really does seem to be a fascinating case study for all these different drivers.
It really does, which leads to something for you, the listener, to think about. When you look at these big PPPs, try to consider that whole spectrum of motivations, not just the profit angle, and think about the long-term impact on society. It gives you a much richer picture.
A really important perspective. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure.
That's all for this deep dive on AI-deas. Join us again next time.